What's going on, guys? Jada Black here. Shout out to everyone that's tuning in. I want to talk about Chad Willer. I spoke about him a couple of years back when this story first broke in regards to him trying to break his girlfriend, beating her within an inch of her life. This guy actually thought that she was dead. And you know what he did? He went and ate and was shocked when she was still alive. Well, he has been sentenced to jail time for this particular situation. We're going to get into the story. We're also going to get into his now ex-girlfriend reacting. Her name is Alleah. I think it's Alleah Taylor. We're going to get to this. Now, it took a while. This story kind of went away and we didn't hear much about it. So it's been almost 2 years. But finally, his lawyers were fighting this, trying to keep this from happening because this guy is very guilty. And there was a lot of evidence against him. A lot of evidence against him. I was one of the first people to speak about this story. There were a lot of people, a lot of famous people, especially a lot of melanated people, a lot of melanated women that ignored this, that did not want to speak about this. They'll talk about everything else. I mean, these people are still talking about Trump. He hasn't been in office since 2020. But they won't talk about the fact that this melanated woman was beaten within an inch of her life by her supposed boyfriend. And you know why this happened? Because he told her to bow down to him. I remember I did 2 live streams on it on my Jada Black Live Streams 2 channel. I spoke about this. And I spoke about how it just seemed like this guy was obsessed with showing that he had control over this woman. Why did he feel like he was so valuable to tell this woman, his girlfriend, to bow down to him? And there was a lot of media personalities that wanted to ignore this. They love talking about black men this, black men that, black men beat black women. But they were very slow to talk about this topic. Why is that? Why did we have to push them to talk about this? But they want to talk about black men. They want to demonize black men. Listen, I don't care who none of you heifers date. Just stop complaining online then. Y'all love to come to the internet and complain about your relationships and then get mad when people comment on it. So far, this woman has moved on with her life. She's actually shown more heart and courage than these same women who get online to demonize toxic masculinity, abusive men. But y'all never supported this woman. Y'all didn't even want to talk about this story. Why didn't she receive y'all support when this guy did what he did to her? Why did it take me and other black men to point it out? It's because you want to see the good in white men and you love seeing the bad in black men. This is why y'all are talking about Keke Palmer and her relationship. Because it's easier to talk about a black man being allegedly abusive than there's a white man being abusive to black women. But that happens a lot more than y'all think. Y'all just choose to ignore it because it doesn't fit your narrative. Because a lot of y'all are mentally unstable. You get online with your mental instability and you project your mental instability, your trauma onto black men you don't even know. But you have stories here of this particular female here getting pummeled by her NFL player boyfriend, because at the time he was in the NFL. He wasn't out of the league. That was a lie. He was still in the league when this happened. And people say, well, he's not in the league now, so that's your excuse? That's your excuse not to talk about this because he's not in the league now? That's the excuse that they used. That's the excuse that they used. I was one of the first people to go live and speak about this. When these so-called feminists, these black feminists, these revolutionaries didn't want to say anything about this because it destroys their narrative that only black men beat up black women. That ain't true. How many stories I've done of melanated women losing their life to a non-melanated man? Y'all don't want to talk about those stories either. I don't care if Chad Wheeler is no longer in the NFL. So what? There's a lot of men who aren't in the NFL. Y'all talk about them every day. Doesn't matter if they're quote unquote relevant or not. It never stops y'all from commenting on them, now does it? So let's get into the story. Make sure y'all like this video. According to TMZ. Ex-NFL offensive lineman Chad Wheeler has been found guilty of domestic violence. This after he was accused of nearly taking the life of his girlfriend during a bipolar episode in 2021. A jury in King County, Washington came back on Thursday with a verdict, formally finding Wheeler guilty of 1 count of first-degree domestic violence and 1 count of second-degree domestic violence. They did, however, issue a not guilty verdict on the charge of unlawful imprisonment. Wheeler was remanded into custody following the ruling, and he's now set for sentencing on December 14th. So he's been charged, but not necessarily sentenced. According to a spokesperson for the King County Prosecuting Attorney's Office, officials can now seek a mandatory minimum sentence of 5 years for the first-degree charge after the jury found Wheeler used force or means likely result in death. Spokesperson said they can also now seek a sentence above the standard range for the second degree charge. So he may end up doing more than the 5. He could do 10. Who knows? The conclusion in the case comes nearly 3 years after Alleah Taylor said that she sustained serious injuries when Wheeler snapped on her at the Washington apartments. He snapped on her because she refused to bow down to him. He told her to bow down to him. He wanted to exert control over this melanated woman, and you people want to get on here and ignore this, but you want to talk about black men 24/7. You people have lost your mind. Taylor alleged Wheeler, who she had been dating for around 6 months at the time of the incident, demanded she bow down to him. Y'all see that? Hey, heifers, you see this? And when she didn't comply, he attacked her and choked her within an inch of her life. Taylor says she sustained a concussion and an arm injury that requires bolts and a steel plate to fix. He messed this girl up. She didn't even look the same from her pictures. This is after some months, but this interview was like right after the particular incident. Might have been maybe less than a month. She just looked different. He really did a number on her. But some of you people wanted to ignore this and act like it didn't happen. You want to act like this ain't that important because he's not in the NFL. You people talk about men who ain't famous all the time. Every time there's a viral video of a black man, y'all ready to go tweet about it. You're ready to get into the shade room comment section or the neighborhood talk, or you're ready to go live on YouTube. You heifers just have a thirst to trash black men whenever they do anything. But here you are, you have a story. This woman beat within an inch of her life, and where are you heifers at? Making excuses, claiming he ain't relevant enough to talk about. You people make me sick because you do not care about other melanated women. You only care about yourself. Following Thursday's ruling, she posted a statement on X saying, I finally have justice. As a matter of fact, let's get to that. All right. Former Seahawks, hold on. See, extend this out just a little bit. Former Seahawk Chad Wheeler was found guilty by a King County jury on 2 counts of assault for beating his then girlfriend Alleah Taylor in 2021. Taylor says that she thought she was going to die that night. In 2021, she said that it's been a long road to get to this decision by a jury, and hopes it's encouraging to all survivors of domestic violence. It took me a while to fully process it because it's been going on for so long. I'm finally feeling that freeing feeling like I don't have to feel so nervous, Taylor said. Then Seahawk Chad, see, look at that. It said, then Seahawk. For all you people that said he wasn't relevant, he was on the Seattle Seahawks at the time. was arrested in January 2021. Court documents allege he choked and beat Alleah Taylor during a manic episode inside a Kent apartment building. That night, he decided to take his rage out, said Taylor. I think I went through some of the particulars. Let's see. Okay, let's see. I was like, okay, so this is out. I'm like, okay, how do I want to handle this? Do I want to hide away and keep this under the rug? And then he gets away with it, and then other people are also hurt? Or do I want to just step up? She said. She says, I think it's sometimes a bit difficult, especially when holding someone accountable, a person of power, someone popular like that in the NFL, holding them accountable can have a lot of pressure on you. So first and foremost, I would say be present with how you feel. Don't feel guilty or be too mindful of what other people's feelings are about the situation. Be present with yourself. Taylor sees that night in Kent as a turning point in her life. Today, she's thriving as a model and works in the medical field, and perhaps more importantly, is an advocate for domestic violence. Now, this is a true domestic violence survivor. Alleah Taylor is a true domestic violence survivor. She's not like these other heifers that get on here and they lie about being beat on just to get full custody to avoid paying child support. She actually went through it. Okay? She actually went through it. She is a real domestic violence survivor, not these people who lie and pretend just to have a one-up in a divorce or to get full custody. We don't believe you. All right. So I just want to break the cycle. I come from a long line of women who have dealt with domestic violence, and I just feel like it just needs to end. Willer was released by the Seahawks the day after his arrest in 2021. In a statement released at the time, the organization said that they were saddened by the details emerging around the case and strongly condemned this act of domestic violence and urged Willer to get the help he needs. Well, he'll get a lot of help in prison because that's exactly where he needs to be. This woman here is a real survivor. Not that BS that they're trying to push now with Keke Palmer. This is a true survivor. Okay, this is a woman who, could have lost her life due to this bozo here. A guy who threw what was left of his NFL career away because he had issues that should have been addressed a long time ago. Should have been addressed a long time ago. So let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts. Like this video and share it. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and I'll see y'all next one.